I don't think marriage should be forever. I think you should have to renew your marriage every 3 years. And then you decide if y'all are still compatible and you want to stay together and make it work, or if you want to amicably split up.
Show ad.
Y'all,
Show ad.
don't you know I started this podcast and I was sitting here talking, just talking up a storm, and realized that I did not press record. So I'm just sitting here talking to a screen that's not recording. This has been a crazy week. Like, when I tell y'all life be lifing, first of all, I injured my wrist. And before you ask how I injured it, I have no idea. I don't know what happened to my wrist. Like, when you start getting older, you just start getting injuries. You just wake up with injuries. So I Googled my symptoms, and I guess I have tendonitis of the wrist or the thumb. And I was running like a crazy person, driving a lot. And every time I would get in my car, I would push down on the seatbelt with my thumb. So I'm guessing maybe I just pushed down on that seatbelt thing too hard, one too many times. And my thumb was like, I'm sick of it. So my thumb's jacked up. Also, my car broke down. And I have a DJ class to go to tomorrow because I've always wanted to be a DJ. And one of my friends posted that her friend is giving DJ classes. So I decided to go and take this DJ class. But now I don't even know if I'm going to make it to this class because my car broke down. My car is like super old. I drive an old Saturn and it's very temperamental, and it's gets mad if I don't drive it for a few days and decides that it doesn't want to work anymore. So I have to get a jump. And I bought this little device that's supposed to give it a jump, but the device doesn't work anymore. So I have to call AAA to give me a jump. And it's only March and I've already used 3 of my 4 AAA visits. So yeah, my car is raggedy, but one day I'm going to get a new car and I'm going to look back at this video and I'm going to laugh and reminisce on how I had an old raggedy Saturn and now I'm in my brand new 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz because that is my current dream car that I really want. So one day I'm going to look back at this video sitting in my Santa Cruz and laugh about the fact that I had to get a jump so I could go to my DJ class. But right now, y'all, I am in the trenches of lifing. But I'm here. I'm happy to be here. And let's get into it, y'all. This is Girl Crush, my little engine that could lesbian movie podcast. And this week I watched Imagine Me and You. So I've been on a quest to find a good lesbian movie. It hasn't been going good because every single lesbian movie that I've watched so far has been absolute trash, or it's just been okay. Like, I kind of liked it, but it wasn't the greatest. And I hate that for us. I feel like we deserve better. We need some good lesbian movies. And I know they got to be out there. There's no way that all the lesbian movies are horrible. Now, one good thing I can say about Imagine Me and You is at least it doesn't look cheap. So my homegirl, Nicole, shout out to you, Nicole, recommended that I watch Imagine Me and You. She said that she loves it. It's like her favorite lesbian movie. She thought that maybe I wouldn't like it because she said that it might be too lovey-dovey for me. But little does she know, and little do y'all know, I ain't mad at a little bit of lovey-doveyness. Low-key, I'm a sap. Like, a lot of people might look at me and think that I'm not because, you know, I'm a little tomboyish. I'm from New York. I got the hard New York accent. I come off a little rough around the edges. But inside, I'm a girly girl. Like, I'm real girly on the inside. I'm a big old tomboy on the outside, but I'm mad girly on the inside. I might not want to wear no dress or no skirt, but on the inside, I got on a tutu and a tiara. I love pink sparkly things. If I had to buy a notebook and a pen right now, I'd buy the pinkest, sparkliest notebook and pen that you could find. Like, this is me on the inside. I love Hello Kitty, Care Bears. Like on the inside, I'm a big old girl. This is what I look like. This is what I look like on the inside. So I ain't mad at a little bit of sap. Like I'm the person who cried watching a Petco commercial. I cried watching an episode of Family Matters. So I was like, let me check out Imagine Me and You. Maybe I'll like the sap that they're offering up in this movie. So I watched it and I gotta say, they presented it as this like sweet love story, but it's a trifling story if you ask me. It's a trifling story. They try to present it as this sweet love story, but it's about a lady who cheats on her husband with another woman. It's very reminiscent of the movie that I watched last week, Late Bloomers, where this lady was in like a boring, stale, loveless marriage and she ended up cheating on her husband with a woman and then she left her husband and married this woman. Now, this story is a little bit different because they're not middle aged. These people look like they're in their 20s, maybe like 20s, early 30s at the most. But it's crazy because this couple, they're a young couple. They started out as friends and they fell in love and they're getting married. So the beginning of the movie is this girl walking down the aisle to marry the love of her life, a man. And as she's walking down the aisle, she locks eyes with this beautiful girl who happens to be the florist at her wedding. And like the way they locked eyes, she's literally walking down the aisle and she looks like, you can see it in her eyes. She's like, wow, who is that? Now, mind you, I don't think this girl was a lesbian in any way, shape, or form before this. I mean, they didn't allude to that. She didn't say anything about like having crushes when she was young, nothing. So I don't know. This is just like all new to her. She just spots this girl while she's walking down the aisle, and that's like, I guess her first little spark of, oh snap, do I like girls? And it's crazy to me how they present these so-called sweet love stories, but it's really stories about infidelity. Like why do lesbian stories got to be infidelity? Why do the lesbians got to be home wreckers and trifling hoes? I don't like that. Stop trying to make us look like we trifling, because it ain't always like that. But the way they present it is like, hey y'all, don't give up on love. Your soulmate might just be married. You looking for love in all the wrong places. You need to be at a wedding looking for your person. No, don't look at the bridesmaids and the groomsmen. Look at the bride and the groom. Like, what are y'all doing? There's this little girl in the movie. I honestly don't know who this little girl is. So at first I thought the little girl was like the little sister of the bride because she's always with the bride's parents. But then later in the movie, they showed the little girl with a woman who's her mother, but the mother's like, stop telling people I'm your mother. You cramping my style. I'm like, who the hell are these people? What is the significance of the little girl? They never really explain who this little girl is. Am I tripping? Like, why is the little girl there? She's just like asking all these weird questions. Like, do turtles have knees? Just weird stuff. So the little girl kind of clicks with the florist because she's asking all kind of weird questions and the florist is answering them, entertaining her tomfoolery. So at the wedding reception, the bride, whose name is Rachel, loses her ring in the punch. So this is their first encounter. Rachel and Luce, the florist, meet each other by the punch, and she's telling her that, yo, I lost my wedding ring in the punch. And Luce is like, yo, let me get it for you. So she covers her with her wedding dress and she reaches in and gets the ring out, and that's their like first little encounter where they become friendly. So after the wedding, the next day, Rachel goes down to the flower shop to tell Luce thank you. And I'm like, who goes all the way across town to tell the florist from their wedding thank you for doing their job? Like they had phones. So she goes there. She's like, oh, I just came by to thank you. And hey, I wanted to invite you to dinner. So the florist is like, oh, cool. Yeah, we can go to dinner. So she goes home and she's like, hey, I went over to the florist shop and I met the florist and I invited her to dinner. And he's like, why? Her husband, his name is Hector. They call him Heck, which is the stupidest nickname ever, but whatever. He's like, why'd you invite the random florist to dinner? And she's like, oh, I want to hook her up with Cooper, who's their like creepy, weirdo best friend. And she's like, you ever met somebody and you just know instantly that y'all are gonna be friends forever? Like I feel like maybe I even met her in a past life. And he's like, okay. And I mean, I feel her on that because I've met friends that I've instantly clicked with and felt like I was gonna know them forever, and I'm still friends with them. So I get that, but it was platonic. But this was something different. So as soon as Luce the florist, it's funny they named her Luce because Luce was loose. You know what I'm saying? How you just trying to steal somebody's wife? But as soon as Luce the florist shows up to dinner and Rachel and Hector open the door, it's like instant. Rachel's like, hi. I'm like, why is she saying hi to her like that? And her husband's not picking up on it. And like, men can be so oblivious sometimes, but I think he probably wasn't picking up on it because, first of all, that's his wife. And this is a woman, and he has assumed all this time that his wife is straight. It's the farthest thing from his mind that his wife is like crushing on this lady. I feel like he probably would have peeped it if she was a man, but since it was a woman, it just went over his head. He's like, she's not a threat. This is a girl. But dudes, I'm here to tell you, a girl could take your girl, and it won't be hard. Like a lot of these girls out here, they got sugar in their tank. Some of them don't even know it until they meet the right person. Just like the girl in this movie. Like she didn't know she had sugar in her tank till she met Luce. And then all of a sudden it's, hold on, something has awakened in me. And this man is a fool because he done told Luce that Rachel said that she feels like she met her in a past life. He's like, do you believe in reincarnation? Because Rachel feels like she's known you forever and maybe met you in a past life. I'm like, yo, you feeding this girl lines from your wife. Like you don't even realize that you just fed this lady a pickup line from your wife, you idiot. They lock eyes and they looking all dreamy at each other and he's not picking up on it at all. Luce done brought them flowers. He's like, oh, let me put the flowers in some water. Like, yo, this girl done brought your girl some flowers and you want to put it in water. And he's probably not even paying attention to the fact that this lady done brought flowers. Like it doesn't really click to him because she's a florist. What else would she bring, you know? So, he gives the flowers to the girl. She goes to put them in water and they're like sitting there chit-chatting while the wife is putting the flowers in water. And he's asking Luce like, so are you married? Have you ever been married? Do you plan on getting married? And she's like, well, you know, now that the laws have changed, maybe I will get married someday. And he's like, what do you mean the laws? And she's like, yeah, well, I'm gay. And he's like, oh, really? You're gay? And he's still not putting two and two together. Like, yo, this girl could definitely steal your wife. Because Luce was fine. I was like, Luce is cute. I get why Rachel, the wife, fell in love with Luce. Because I kind of fell in love with Luce. I was like, I would holler at Luce. Luce was cute. But he's not even thinking about that. Like, he's thinking, oh, snap, Luce is a lesbian, and we trying to hook her up with my homeboy. She's not going to be feeling him. She sure ain't. She feeling your wife, bro. I'm like, yo, Luce is slick. I need to take some notes from Luce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to steal nobody, girl. Well, maybe I might try to steal some. If I don't like you, I might try to steal your girl. Not your wife. But if it's your girlfriend, she fair game. If I don't like you, I'm coming for your girl. But he's like not picking up on any of the cues or the signs that these girls are giving to each other. Like he is oblivious and they are trash friends anyway. Because why would they try to hook Luce up with their friend Cooper? Cooper is a major creep. The whole time at dinner, all he's talking about is like sex and how good he is in bed and asking them what it's like to be a married couple, what their sex life is like as a married couple. And I'm like, why are you asking him all these creepy questions? Like this dude was weird as hell. Why would you try to hook anybody up with that creepy ass dude? And you know what? Rachel ain't slick. She knew good and well that girl wasn't going to want that creepy ass dude. She pretended like she was trying to hook that girl up with somebody, but she knows she just wanted that girl over there for her. She was like, let me hook her up with somebody I know she ain't going to like, just so she'll come over. She knew what she was doing. So Hector tells his homeboy, like, yo, I don't think she's gonna be feeling you because she gay. But that doesn't mean anything to a creepy dude who thinks that he can get any and everybody. So now his whole goal is to change her. He's like, anybody could change teams. And Hector's like, not me. So there's one part where Luce goes upstairs because they have like this little roof deck and she's hanging out, just taking in the sights. And Rachel comes up and she's like, hey, what you doing out here? It's cold. So here come flirty ass Rachel. She's flirting with her like, oh, you cold. Here, take my sweater. She puts her sweater on her and rubs her arms and they're all giggling and flirting with each other. And the husband's like, hey, what y'all doing up there? And they're like, huh, nothing, just acting mad guilty. I'm like, y'all are so shady. So dinner's over and the creepy dude, Cooper, drives Luce home. And I'm like, I don't know why this girl got in the car with this creep. Like after the way he was acting at dinner, I would have never went anywhere with him. He was mad, gross, and creepy. He really made my skin crawl. And the whole time driving home, he's like trying to get her to come home with him or let him come home with her. And he notices that like she was distant and quiet. And he's like, what's going on? Is you all right? What, you having girl problems or whatever? So she's not really feeling him, but he's like, oh, talk to Uncle Cooper. I'm like, ugh. But she talks to him and she's like, yo, have you ever met somebody and you knew like they were the one, but they were off limits because they were with somebody else? And he's like, yeah, all the time, all the hot girls are taken. And she's like, well, what do you do? And he's like, I shag them, because they're Brits, so they say shag. I've never used that term, but apparently that's a term that they use for sex in London or wherever the hell they are, and they have that fancy uppity accent. And she's like, yeah, but you know, you can't do that if somebody's a couple. And he's like, look, I'm going after who I like. The other person in a relationship, that's their problem. That's their business. I don't have any commitments to any of them. And she's like, no, you can't just like ruin somebody's relationship and hurt the heart of somebody. People in relationships are off limits. You can't do that. And he's like, I do what I want, basically. She's like, you got to hook up with somebody available instead. He's like, somebody like me. Like, bro, no, she don't want you, creep. And he's like, please, just hook up with me one time. Like, I'm really good in bed. Like, no, she don't want you. I can't stand people like that. I don't like people that, like, bro, no means no. She's not feeling you. Like, a lot of people think that if you keep asking somebody out, that eventually you'll grow on them or you'll wear them down or eventually they'll start feeling you. And I mean, I've seen that work, but I don't like that. Like for me, I know if I like somebody and I kind of know if I'm gonna like them. Like if I say no, I'm not interested, that's what I mean. Don't keep asking me. Don't keep chasing me. If I ain't feeling you, I ain't feeling you. You're not going to wear me down. And if by chance you do, I'll let you know. You don't have to keep asking me and bothering me. And my friends love to say stuff like, oh, because I've like, show interest in somebody or whatever. But if they don't show interest in me, I'm like, it's dead. I'm good. And my friend's like, no, you can't give up that easy. Like some people like to be chased. You got to pursue them. And I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not. Like if I see that there may be something there, I may jog a little, like that meme says, but I ain't chasing nobody. No means no. Like if you say it ain't gonna happen, I'm gonna take your word for it and I'm out. I'm not gonna keep chasing you, but I know people that have not taken no for an answer and they chase somebody and eventually they got with them. But I wouldn't even feel good about myself if I had to wear somebody down. Like, nah, I want you feeling me right away. I want to be like Luce and Rachel. Love at first sight. Like, yo, you saw me and immediately you was like, who is that? And I saw you and immediately I was like, who is that? I don't want to be like, who is that? And they're like, no, thank you. And then I'm running after you and I got to wear you down. We not Urkel and Laura. I'm wearing you down, baby. No, I ain't doing that. And don't do it to me. But apparently that works for some people. So Cooper thought that it was going to happen for him. But I was like, every time he did it, it just made me cringe. So after this night, Heck and Rachel are grocery shopping, and they run into Luz and her friend in the grocery store. And before they run into them, Rachel is talking about how Luz and Cooper left together, so they must have hit it off and they gonna get together. And Heck is like, I don't think that's gonna happen. And he's trying to express to her, like, yo, that girl is gay. But before he can express it, they run into Luz and some homegirl. And Heck is he's just not discreet at all. He just comes out and asks the girl that Luz is with, are you gay too? I'm like, bro, why would you just ask a random stranger if they're gay? And Luz and Rachel are just like looking at each other and having like a completely awkward exchange. And after they all talk and leave each other, he's like, that's what I was trying to tell you. Like, Luz is gay. And that just puts the bug in Rachel's ear, like, oh, shoot, she's gay, so she might actually like me. And then Luz and her friend peeped the game, and she was like, what was that? Like, I saw the awkward exchange between the two of y'all. That's the girl you like? She was like, that girl is straight as hell, like a Barbie doll. That's the girl you trying to get with, like you tripping. Meanwhile, Coop is still pursuing Luz to the point that it's just getting stalkery. This fool ordered flowers from her flower shop and requested that they be delivered to a restaurant. Now, this girl, she's like the only person pretty much that works there. So she delivered the flowers herself. She gets to the restaurant and Coop is there like, oh, you brought me flowers? She's like, bro, it's not going to happen. I'll be your friend though. And he's like, yeah, that'll do for now. I'm like, what? I wouldn't even be his friend because he's just so gross and creepy. I couldn't even imagine being a friend with somebody like that. So oddly, somehow this girl Luz is just like intertwined in their lives now. So the little girl, who I still don't know who the hell she is, she's having a school play and she done invited Luz to her play. Like, what? The little girl's like 8 years old. Who just meets a random lady at a wedding? Your relative? I assume the girl is like a relative of theirs. Who just meets a random little girl at a wedding, and the little girl's like, hey, I like you. Will you come to my school play? And you just show up. You don't know this little girl's parents. You don't know this little girl's family at all. You're the florist at the wedding. The little girl done invited you to her school play and you show up. So she gets to the school play and they're like, Luz, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, the little girl invited me. Like, what? Is everybody a creep in this movie? So now she's sitting with this little girl's family. She's sitting right next to Rachel. They're sitting side by side watching this little girl in this school play. And during the play, they both start daydreaming about holding hands and kissing each other. I'm like, what is going on? All these people are crazy. So after the play, like, Luz is starting to see something is up. She's like, yo, this girl must be feeling me some kind of way. And I think Rachel was about to tell her because she's like, yo, I feel like we need to talk about something. And it kind of freaked Luz out because she was like, you know what? I got to go. And she ran off, which was smart. She should have kept running. So Luz like kind of shut it down at first. But now that Rachel knows that Luz is a lesbian, like, she's even more intrigued by this. This girl done went to the video store. This is before streaming was popular or even a thing. She's at the video store, like Blockbuster Video type store, getting DVDs. She done rented a lesbian DVD. So while she's trying to get this lesbian DVD, she's trying to be all like discreet with it. And her mom peeps her through the window. And I'm like, yo, how small is this town? Is it like within a 1 block radius? Because everywhere they go, they're just running into each other. First, Luz runs into her at the damn supermarket. Then her mama runs into her at the video store. And they at the little girl's school. Like, how small is this town? So her mom sees her through the window. She's like, oh, I thought that was you. Now she's trying to hide the daggone video. It's called something crazy like Laura's Bush. So she hides the video. She gets it home. She's at home watching these Leslie videos. I guess she's trying to figure out what she want to do with Luz when she gets with her. Trying to figure out what lesbians do or whatever. And while she's watching it, her husband comes home. So she's like, oh shoot, she's like fumbling, trying to hide the DVD. So she turns it off, but the dude sees, oh, you went to the video store. And he looks and he sees the video, Laura's Bush. And he's like, he's kind of feeling it because they're both like very vanilla. So he's kind of surprised that his wife done got a Leslie DVD, and he thinks that she got it for them to have fun. And he's like, oh, this what we doing now? And she's like, no, I rented that by mistake. The lady in the video store gave me the wrong video. And he's like, well, we could still watch it. And she's like, no, I'm good. That kind of stuff don't turn me on. And he's like, well, that makes one of us. And she just like walks out and just leaves the dude hanging. And I feel so sorry for him. I'm like, yo, they just got married. It's supposed to be popping for them, and she's just leaving this dude hanging. She has not been feeling him since the day they got married, since she locked eyes with Loose. So now I guess it's the 4th of July. They're at some fireworks show. Hector is wondering like what's going on with his wife, why she ain't feeling him. He trying to have the conversation with her father. Like, that is not the person that you talk to about your love life. You do not ask your wife's father why his daughter is not giving you none. Like, what are you doing, bro? So they over there, the dad is shut it down quick. He's like, look, this ain't the conversation you want to have with me. We can talk about sports. We can talk about video games, but we're not talking about you clapping my daughter's cheeks. Like, that's not what we're doing. So while they're watching the fireworks, she turns around and who's behind them? Loose. I'm like, damn, they just keep running into this chick. Like, is she a stalker? What is happening? Why is this town so small? Is there only 6 people in this town? I don't get it. So as soon as she sees Luce, she freaks out because now like she knows how she's feeling. The feelings inside of her is making her uncomfortable. She knows that she's married. So she's like, let's go home. So they leave the fireworks show early. They go home and her husband is trying to get frisky with her or whatever, and she's just like not feeling it. And he's like, yo, what is going on? He asked her like, are you pregnant or something? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, no, I'm not pregnant. He's like, you want to get pregnant? And she's like, no, I'm good. We can wait. And he's like, wait for what? Like, we married. Let's start a family. And she's just not with it at all. And he's starting to like second guess himself. He's like, dang, like, is this something I'm doing? What's wrong with me? And I feel so sorry for this dude because he really is a victim in this whole thing. So while they're having this conversation, he gets a phone call. And while he's on the phone, she walks away and she calls Luce. And then she chickens out and hangs up, but not before Luce saw that she was calling her. So Luce is like, why is this lady calling me? And her husband's on the phone and finds out that he has to work on the day that they were supposed to go to a football game. And when I say football, I mean soccer, because they're in another country and all other countries call soccer football except us weirdos in the USA. We call it soccer. So they're supposed to go to this football game, but he finds out that he has to work. And then the phone rings and it's Luce. She's calling back and she's like, did somebody call me from this number? And he's like, oh, Luce, I'm so glad you called. What are you doing on Tuesday? I have to work, so I'm wondering if you wanted to go to a football game. You and Rachel can just go together. Why don't you just like go hang out with Rachel? And she's like, okay. And Rachel's like, why would you do that? I don't even know that girl like that. And he's like, hey, what do you mean? I thought she was your new BFF or your soulmate. I'm like, bro, you just sent your wife on a date with a hot lesbian, you idiot. What are you doing? So they go to this damn sports game and they just having a good old time heckling the players and stuff. And the Luce is like teaching her how to heckle right. And she's like, you gotta say it with your stomach. And she's like, show me, put your hands around me and show me how to do it. And they like hugged up. It was just like it was a booed up kind of situation. I'm like, yo, what is going on? So at the end of the night, after they done had fun, they done went to the arcade and played Dance Dance Revolution. They just made a night of it. And at the end of the night, like Rachel, she done forgot she's married. She thinks she on a real date. She tried to kiss Luce goodnight. And Luce was like, hold on, like, what are you doing? We definitely not doing this. Like, every step of the way, Luce is like trying to shut it down. So she's trying not to be loose, but it really ain't working. So she leaves and Rachel goes in the house. She gets in the bed with her husband, but she just really ain't feeling him. She don't want to be there at all. I'm like, dang, this poor man. Their life done became stale and mundane and they only been married for like a few months, it seems. So Rachel's at work with her friends, asking them all kind of weird questions like, do you believe in love at first sight? Have you ever thought about changing teams, and her friends is like, yo, what is up with you? Why are you asking us all these weird questions? And she's like, oh, I'm just doing research, because I think she worked at like a magazine or something like that. So now Rachel is like really feeling guilty, and she's trying to like be more present with her husband and trying to be more attracted to him, because now like the fire is all for Lou. She is not feeling her husband at all, and she don't want to like she don't want to like she don't want to like Lou's. And I get that, because I have had like major crushes on people that I did not want to like. You really can't help who you like sometimes. And it's so annoying, like, to really, really like somebody that you don't want to like, or to really, really like somebody that is not available, but you just can't turn it off. Those are the worst. Like having a crush on somebody that you just shouldn't or don't want to like. You just can't help it. But she was just trying so hard to fight it. So she tried to be spontaneous with Hector, and she was like, yo, let's go to the park and do it in the bushes. And he's like, what the hell? We don't have to do stuff like that. Like, yo, we are a married couple. We have a house. We have a bed. Like, we don't have to be in the bushes with animals and thorns sticking us in the ass. Like, we can go home. She's like, no, let's just do it. It'll be fun. It'll be a thrill. So he goes with it, because he's like, well, at least I'm finally getting some. So they in the park in the dark. It's creepy as hell. He's scared. They hearing noises and stuff, and she trying to get him naked, and he's like, yo, I'm not getting naked in the park. Like, I'm a dude. All you gotta do is zip my zipper down. Like, I'm not taking off all my clothes. And they hear something in the distance, and they're like, who is that? And she's like, if you don't come out, you're gonna get dealt with. And all of a sudden, these two guys come out from behind the tree. They were behind the tree getting frisky themselves. And they're like, hey, we were out here doing the same thing. And we heard you. We tried to be quiet as to not disturb you, but you threatened us. So we had to come out. So they're like introducing each other, shaking hands. And let me tell you something. If somebody's doing the nasty in the bushes, I am not shaking their hand, because I don't know where their hands have been. But they shaking hands. And Hector's like, oh, this is my wife, Rachel. You know, we married. We're just out here having fun. And these two guys are like, oh, being married must be nice. We just met each other today. And Hector's like, sometimes I feel like I just met her today, because the situation was just weird. So all of that gets deaded once the other two guys come from behind the tree, and they get back in the car and they're driving home. And it's just like a silent, awkward ride home. Like, the marriage is going downhill. And it's crazy, because they've been together for years. Like, they started out friends. They fell in love. They were like the soulmates, it seemed. And then she just locked eyes with this lady one time at the wedding, and now everything's going downhill. So the next day, she's just like distraught. She runs to the flower shop, and she's going off on Luce, like, whatever this is, it just can't be. I'm a married woman, and I can't be doing this. Like, she going off on Luce, like Luce did something to her. Like, you the hoe in this situation. You the one that been pushing up on Luce the whole time. You've been trying to kiss her. You've been trying to have dates with her and inviting her to dinner and stuff. Like, it's all you. Now you going over on Luce, like, this, whatever this is over. And Luce is like, what the hell is happening right now? So Rachel turns to leave, and then she turns back, and she just grabs Luce and starts kissing her. And Luce goes with it, because Luce is feeling her too, but she was just trying to fight it because she knows it's wrong. So they go to the back of the flower shop. Luce had a customer at the time. She's like, here, take these flowers and get out. The flowers are on the house. So they in the back, making out, falling all over the place, giggling like this is some cute, sweet, romantic comedy, getting stabbed in the butt with rose thorns and stuff. And I'm like, this is trifling. This ain't no romantic comedy. Like, yo, y'all are back there stepping out on somebody's marriage. So then all of a sudden you hear, Luce, are you here? It's the freaking husband. He done came to the damn flower shop while they in the back getting ready to get it on. So Luce jumps up. She's like, don't come in here. I'm coming out. She comes out. She's like, what you want? And he's like, well, what you think I want? I want some flowers. I'm at your damn flower shop. And he's like, I want to get my wife some flowers because something is wrong. in our marriage, and I just don't understand like what's going on. So I want to get some flowers to make her feel better. And she's like, he's like, how did you like the football game? Did you have fun with Rachel? And she was like, yeah, I had a good time. And he's like, well, what was she like at the football game? And she's like, she was good. And he's like, well, did she say anything? Because she's been acting really weird. Did she say anything about, you know, is she mad at me or something? And she's like, no, she didn't say anything to me. And she's like, well, why don't you ask her if there's anything wrong? And he's like, well, I'm scared to ask her because what if it is? Like, he's really agonizing and freaking out over the fact that, yo, something is wrong and I don't know what it is. So she gives him the flowers. She's like, yo, the flowers are on the house. Like, good luck to you. So he leaves and she goes in the back to try to talk to Rachel, and Rachel is gone. She's running down the street. So she runs behind Rachel, and Rachel's like, we can't do this. She's like, I made a mistake. I feel so bad. He's blaming himself. None of this is his fault. Luz is like, look, all of this could be over. Just say the word. Just say you want me to go and I'll go. Like, why she got to say that? Your ass know you need to go. Nobody should have to tell your ass to go. Just go. And she's like, well, do you want to go? And she's like, no, I want to be with you, but we can't. And she's like, yeah, I know we can't. And she's like, well, don't forget me. And she's like, I'll never remember anything else. And they go their separate ways. And then Luz decides, like, she just can't take it. She's leaving town. She goes home. She crying to her mama, like, I fell in love with a girl, but I can't be with her. And her mama's like, well, does the girl love you too? And she's like, yeah, but she's with somebody else. Like, it's just a hot mess. So she decides that she's leaving town. So Rachel goes home. She's like upset about what happened. Her goofy ass husband came home. He done went out and got drunk. So he comes home drunk. And Rachel decides to come clean. And she's like, look, I have something to tell you. I fell in love with somebody else and it's not fair to you. I'm so sorry, but it's over and it's never going to happen again. I'm sorry. I love you. I want to be with you. And while she's telling him this, she turns around and this fool is asleep in a drunken stupor. So now she starts freaking out. She's like, no, you got to wake up. You got to listen to me because I can't make this confession again. It was hard enough to say the words one time. I can't say them again. So she gets upset. She goes in the room. She goes to bed. And when she goes in to go to bed, he opens his eyes. So he heard everything, but pretended that he didn't hear it. So now he's out drinking with his friend, upset, telling him that his wife done fell in love with somebody else. And his friend, creepy ass Cooper, he might be a creep, but he ain't no fool. So he put two and two together and he's like, oh, it gotta be loose. So he goes to the flower shop and he's like, you dumb slut. He really called that girl a dumb slut. And she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I know it's you that been messing around with my buddy's wife. Like, what happened to you don't interfere with other people's relationships and you don't hurt people's relationships? She's like, look, I'm out of here. Leave me alone. And she goes in and decides to start packing up to leave town. So now it's Rachel's birthday. So they're at her parents' house. It's her and her mom and dad and that little random ass girl who I still don't know who the hell she is. Her mama ain't never around. The little girl's mama was only in that one scene where she was like, stop telling people I'm your mama because you cramping my style. I'm like, who is this little girl? And why is she always with Rachel's family? Like, is that lady Rachel's sister and these two older people her grandparents? They never really explain who the little girl is. I don't know if I'm tripping. Was I not paying attention during that part of the movie? Because I don't know who this little girl is, but she's always with them. Anyway, so they're all at the house trying to sing happy birthday to Rachel. The dude is like all upset. The little girl's like, why is the dude upset? They get a phone call and it's Luce telling the little girl that she can't take her to the museum because the little girl found a boyfriend at the fireworks show and Luce was supposed to take them on like their first little date. And Luce is like, I can't take you because I'm going out of town for an extended amount of time. I don't know when I'm going to be back. And when the little girl said that Luce was going out of town, that's when Hector put two and two together. Like, wait a minute, she didn't say anything about going out of town. And now all of a sudden she's going out of town and it clicked that, hold on, is Luce the person that my wife is creeping with? So he gets up, he's upset. He's like, yo, I'm out of here. And Rachel's like, no, I'm not going to leave you. I want to be with you. And he's like, no, if you love me, you would leave me because I'd rather you leave me than stay with me and love somebody else more than you love me. And the parents are still, the father's still singing happy birthday. And the mother's like, will you shut the hell up? I'm trying to see what's going on. Because what are they talking about over here? What do you mean you in love with somebody else? So he freaks out. He leaves. And she chases him out. She's like, no, don't you leave me. And he's like, no, don't try to make it like I'm leaving you. Like it's something I did. I'm leaving you because this is the crazy part. He is such a good dude. He's like, I'm leaving you because I want you to be happy. And I wanted to be the one to make you happy. But since that can't be me, I'm getting out of your way so that you can go be with the person that makes you happy. I was like, wow, now that's true love. You gonna let her go because you want her to be happy even if it ain't with you. That's dope. But I feel sorry for him because even though he's a good dude, this situation is going to take some of the goodness out of him. And I think it's going to mess it up for the next chick. Like, he is not going to trust her. He probably going to cheat on her. Like, I feel like this is his villain origin story. And he's probably going to end up being trash after this because the love of his life left him for a woman. He probably going to hate all the lesbians. I'm like, dang, this poor man. So he goes upstairs to the roof and he's crying on the roof deck. And now that he done told the girl that he's leaving, she didn't even fight for him. She went back in the house. She's like, she good. Like, she's probably glad that he left her. And the mother's like, what do you mean? Who is this man you're leaving him for? And she's like, it's not a man, it's a woman. And she's like, what woman? Who is this woman? And she's like, her name, she's the florist from the wedding. She's like, a woman? What about my grandkids? Like, the mother, she wants grandkids. And the dad, he's like, you know what? Follow your heart. I'm like, it would be the dad to say something like that. He was all with it. He was like, look, you only live once. Go follow your heart. And she's like, can I borrow your car? He's like, I'll drive you. And then the mother's nosy. She's like, y'all ain't leaving without me. Nothing happens without me. They asked the little girl, are you coming? She's like, nah, I'm good. Like, the little girl looking at them like, yo, y'all are all crazy. So while they leave, the little girl goes out to console the dude. Like, nobody cares about this poor dude. Nobody cares about anybody but themselves. The little girl goes out and the guy is like crying his eyes out. And the little girl's trying to console him. She's like, I brought you some sweets. And he's like, I should have married you. And I know that was supposed to be like a cute, sweet moment. But in 2025, that was just yucky to me. I'm like, ew, why would you say that to a little girl? She's like 8. And the little girl's like, well, maybe in 10 years, if you still lonely, we can get married. I'm like, girl, get away from that creep. I know everybody ain't a creep, but telling a little 8-year-old that you should have married her is gross. So anyway, they pull up to the flower shop. The girl runs into the flower shop like, hey, I'm looking for Luce. And Luce's mother is in there like, first of all, don't come in here all rude like that. Like, say hi. So she's like, I'm sorry. Hi, is Luce here? And she's like, oh, you're the girl, ain't you? And she's like, yeah, I guess so. I am the girl. She's like, why ain't you married? Why are you looking for my daughter? And she's like, no, my husband left me and I'm free now. So I'm looking for her. And no questions asked. The mother's like, oh, word? All right, well, let's go find Luce. So now it's the mother, Luce's mother, Rachel's mother and father in the car driving, looking for Luce. They stuck in traffic and they're like playing a game of beat the clock or beat the traffic, trying to catch Luce before she catches her train or bus or whatever the hell vehicle she's taking to skip town. And they can't get through traffic. So Rachel gets out of the car, stands on top of the car and starts yelling out Luce's name and like heckling the way that Luce taught her to heckle at the football game. So that was supposed to be like the sweet little callback moment. And Luce hears her and she comes out and she stands up on top of the car and they see each other and run into each other's arms and live happily ever after. And I'm sitting there like, that's messed up. Happily ever after for them. But what about the dude? Like, they just left him on the roof crying his eyes out with the little girl. But luckily, it was one of those movies that you got to keep watching past the credits. During the credits, they show him like on a plane and he's sitting next to some lady and the girl like locks eyes with him. And it's like love at first sight for her. So now she's about to be cleaning up the mess that Rachel made and trying to be a girlfriend to this dude who's probably broken at this point. And then they cut to like Rachel and Luce just in the park living their best life, eating ice cream or whatever the hell they was doing. And I'm like, both of y'all are trash. But then like part of me is like, It was trash to marry that man and then just leave him like that. But at the same time, it wouldn't have been good for her to stay with him because her heart was somewhere else. I know that marriage is supposed to be like forever, but it honestly wouldn't have been fair to either one of them for her to stay with him if she didn't really want to be with him. She would have always been wondering what if she had left him to be with Luce. And he will always be in the back of his mind, like thinking that she's going to cheat on him with somebody else or some other chick, or it just wasn't meant to be for them, I guess. But that's why in a way I don't believe in marriage, because I feel like people change. And even if you're one way, one day you might change. Because like think about when you're young, right? And there's somebody that you really, really liked. Like you were in love with them. And then 10 years later, think back to the person you liked 10 years ago. You might be like, ugh, why did I like them? Like your tastes totally change. The type of look you like changes. The type of personality you like might have changed. And when you marry somebody, you're still married to that person like 10 years later, and your tastes have totally changed, but you still stuck with that person that you married. And now y'all are basically like roommates. Y'all don't even like each other like that no more. I'm not saying everybody. Some people stay attracted to each other forever, but I feel like a lot of people change and evolve and grow out of each other. And then they're just like stuck with each other and married. So I don't know. Marriage for me personally has always seemed kind of weird, just based off the way people change and evolve. Like your views change, your opinions change. The type of people I liked when I was in my 20s is totally different from the type of people that I like now. I think that marriage, when people get married, it should the contract should expire. I don't think marriage should be forever. I think you should have to renew your marriage every 3 years. So if you're married, y'all stay together for 3 years. And then after that 3 years, you decide if you want to stay together or part ways. And if you want to stay together, then you renew it for another 3 years. And then it kind of gives you an out. So like if you with somebody and you ain't really feeling them no more, they starting to piss you off. You like, ooh, wait till July. July, the contract is up and I'm out of here. Or you could just renew it. And I think that'll make people be on their P's and Q's because they know, oh shoot, our marriage is about to expire in a couple of months. I better get my act together or they're gonna leave me, you know? I don't think marriage should be forever. I think it should expire. I think it should expire every 2 to 3 years. And then you decide if y'all are still compatible and you want to stay together and make it work, or if you want to amicably split up. Does that make sense? Or do I sound crazy? Anyway, let me know what you think of that, because it makes so much sense to me, because I just feel like people change so much, and even over the course of like 3 to 5 years, you could completely change. Like I used to have a blog maybe like 15 years ago, and I have it archived. And sometimes I read the stuff that I wrote in that blog 15 years ago, and I'm like, why the hell would I say that? That was so ignorant. Like I don't even agree with myself. I'm a totally different person than I was 10 or 15 years ago. So I just can't imagine like if I was married to somebody 10 or 15 years ago, I don't think I would be feeling them. I really don't think I would still be with them. I still think about people that I liked or dated a long time ago, and I'm like, ew, what did I see in them? So people who stay married for like 15, 20, 30 years, I commend y'all. Like y'all are real soulmates. Y'all really like each other. Like y'all really, really like each other. And y'all evolved and grew together instead of grew out of each other. But leave me a comment. Do y'all believe in marriage, or do y'all think that marriage should expire every few years and then you have to renew it or part ways? I think I make a lot of sense. But anyway, this has been Girl Crush. I appreciate everybody who tuned in and listened, or who might tune in and listen in the future. Thank you for listening. Hope you tune in the future. Next week, I am going to watch... You know what? While I was watching Imagine Me and You, this other movie came up called Walk With Me, and it says that it's a hot movie. It's from 2021. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and I'm going to watch a movie called Walk With Me, and let's see how hot it is. So if you want to watch it, I'm watching it on a website called Daily Motion. I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu or anything like that. I'm going to look and see if it's on one of those. But if it ain't on there, you can watch it on Daily Motion, and let's see if it's as hard as they say that it is. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at It's Brooklyn Jones. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at Girl Crush Pod. Bye.
I've been moving while all of y'all are stationary. You're ordinary like missionary, bunch of visionaries. Look me up in the dictionary under precision. I stand for perfection. There's no need for revision. I keep my show ongoing.